So welcome to the Ginger Carpman's YouTube channel. Now you're probably thinking, that's not the Ginger Carpman. No, it's Ben from Parker Baits, and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a little bit of a talk between Matt and myself, and like I just mentioned, the Ginger Carpman, and we have a bit of a chat, a bit more of an in-depth chat of what Parker Baits is all about. So join me on my journey, smash that subscribe button down below, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, and enjoy this video. Peace.
Welcome me, the Ginger Carpman, for part 2 of On the Bank With. And today I'm joined by the legend that is Ben Parker from Parker Baits. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you very much, mate. Shake your hand for that. Much appreciated.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you.
So
pleasure to be on your channel.
No, thank you very much for taking the time out. I know how busy you are, mate. So
it's been
incredibly busy.
And just on that note, probably people watching me thinking, Ben, why are you so dirty? Now, I've been in the factory today. I've been working my backside off with the family. Mum, Dad, everybody's been round there. And to be honest, I'm stinking of OG fish, and I've already apologised.
It's quite true as well. He does stink, so I'll back him up on that. So
an octopus in chili, it's not a nice smell to the nose.
And that's all you can smell. Anybody who's got smell-o-vision on, that's all you can smell around here. So
you know, mate.
But yeah, just firstly, Ben, talk us through the best business in that, because obviously it's become so successful. How long have you sort of been going for?
So Parker Baits now has been a brand for 2 years. Obviously, I've been making bait for the last 20 plus years, to be honest with you. Even at a very small age, you know, I really was upsetting the mother. You probably heard me say this in my stories before, but like Boilies stuff and you know, enhancing things to try and give myself an edge on the bank. So yeah, I've been playing about with it for a long time, but the business now has been live for just over 2 years.
Incredibly successful, though, mate. You've done so well with it.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I mean, we're trying our best. We're going down a different avenue with it in regards to really thinking about the fish. I mentioned to you this earlier. A lot of companies are out there for the money and also to almost catch the customer to a degree.
Well, you're right, really. That's what they're doing. They're just trying to pull the customer in.
Yeah.
But you're actually doing, you know, the baits are good baits, and you're getting so much support.
Yeah, you know, it's exactly that. Support from people like yourself, support from the fishing community. But our main priority is the fish, digestibility and nutritional value, and something that's going to benefit the carp eating it, and giving them something, basically the best thing money can buy. In my eyes, you know, we say on the videos, you know, I say the best bait in the game, and from the bottom of my heart, I really do mean that. And
it's true. Having looked round today and looked how you're making the baits and that, and what Theo's doing, and your mum and dad and that, and it is genuinely, you know, it's not just made up for the camera. Believe me, I've actually been round and looked today. It's incredible setup here. So fair play to you, Ben. You know, you're obviously doing something right. Yeah, there's a lot of bait, and especially the 200 kilos that you've just shown me. So, so just basically starting on. So what age did you start fishing?
I've been fishing now. So I started with my granddad at a very young age, to the age that I could. I mean, I was playing hook a duck when I was in my front room at sort of 4 or 5 years old. I've already had it sort of stained, cemented in my blood, if you like. But my granddad was the main person. My dad's not a keen angler, if I'm honest with you. He obviously supports me in Parker Baits HQ no end, and I couldn't do it without my mum and dad with the support and help they give me in there on a daily basis. But my granddad was the gentleman that got me into fishing, and I'll be forever grateful for that. So in answer to your question, so it was around sort of 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, amazing. Physically do you remember the first lake you ever fished?
Yes, I do. So it was a lake dearly close to my heart. It was actually a lake called Stoneham Lakes. Now this is a little lake. It's a club water. And somewhere, like I say, dearly close to my heart. Lilies, you know, intimate. Nothing massive, but sometimes it's not all about catching the biggest fish.
No,
you know? I mean, I always to this day know that lake. I could go back there now, know the spots, and I would still get a buzz out of catching a 5-pounder. To be honest with you.
No, you still do. And did you catch on your first trip?
I did. Yeah. No, I did. My granddad was. I used to sort of. I don't like to say it, and it. If he ever watches this, I'm sure he'll go, oh, you know, I'll have a go at me. But no, we all should have a little competitions, and I used to sort of a lot of the time be on top, should we say. And again, I know he only watches this, he'd be going, oh, have you, Ben, for that? But so. And
you've obviously caught a lot of carp in your time. So what's your current PB, UK?
So UKB PB common is £42 on the nose. That was actually from Berners Hall, and that particular fish was called Patch. Now, it's not a fish I wouldn't say comes out every 5 minutes. I would say it's one of, and people maybe agree, disagree, but one of the nicest looking commons on that. And obviously the name Patch, obviously has got a bit of a patch on it, but the actual fish itself is beautiful. It's black, it's big, It's why
Brilliant.
it's the ultimate common carp. So £42 common, and mirror
Fantastic.
is 41.8, and a bit funnily enough, Berners Hall again.
No,
yeah,
really?
It was. Yeah. I've done well out the last 3 years from there. I've had the 42 patch. I've had a 41.8, the general fish called
Brilliant.
the general. Very plain looking fish, but it looks like it's on steroids.
Yeah.
It's like a big thing. And that's the only way to put a big old back on it, massive. And also Eric's Ghosty, which is one I'm massively fond of. And something that was on mine and T's radar, Mr. 30, for a long time. And I managed to nail that last year, actually. Yeah, it was last year, September. And I think that was 41.8 as well.
Yeah,
and that is my PB Ghosty. So 41.8, 41.8 mirror, and common 42.
Fantastic. And European. Because obviously you do a lot of travelling.
See, I do. And prior to COVID, I mean, I used to go overseas 5, 6, 7 times a year. I used to do loads of time overseas, and obviously being COVID kind of stopped all that. Believe it or not, and a lot of people will be surprised by watching this, is my actual PB is 56.8.
Wow.
So it's a big fish, but it's not nothing massive in the grand scheme of being over in Europe. I've been one of these anglers that has just been bloody unlucky in regards to, I've been there the week I've got back or the day I've got back, an 80's come out of my peg or something over the bait that I was fishing. But it is what it is. That's fishing.
Oh, that is the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I've had numerous 50's, but they've always seems to be under that 56 mark over there. And I had numerous 40's over there. But again, in the grand scheme of things, a 40 and a 50. And I'll say it openly myself, is not massive in the European company. Although it's a massive fish, don't take me the wrong way. But it's not massive in sort of Europe, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to France, can't you? Pick up 70, 80 pounders, even bigger now. But
Correct.
But no, it's still a fair old fish.
And on that note, you know, I do a lot of time. I've been over Euroaqua a few times. I'm quite fortunate enough to get an opportunity to fish at Euroaqua. You know, you've got 5 fish at the right time of the year, over £100.
Yeah.
Which, quite frankly, is, well,
it's incredible, isn't it? Yeah.
£100 fish,
I know.
You know, my brain can't even comprehend seeing that.
I think I'd be the same as you, So
I've seen 77. 77 is the biggest fish I've ever seen.
Really?
And my mind was blown.
Yeah.
I've just, lost for words.
It's something else, isn't it? To see a fish that size,
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, I had my first 30 recently. I mean, I've been fishing 45 years. But to me, that was huge.
£30 is a massive. And
it's 32.8, but God knows what a 70 pounder would look like to me.
It's just crazy. Yeah, massive fish, but a 30 pounder in my eyes in this country is still a big fish.
Yeah, it's a good fish.
30 pounder is still a big fish.
Yeah. Rig wise, if you could only use one rig, Ben, what would you use? What is your go-to rig?
So I say my go-to.
Difficult question, really, but
so if you said my go-to rig would probably be a D rig.
Yeah.
But if I could only use one rig for the rest of my life, it was going to be a Ronnie.
Yeah.
If I'm honest with you, I think Ronnie meets certain criterias. I think you can fish it in different scenarios.
Yeah. Very true.
You can adapt to the rig to fit into different scenarios as well, if I'm honest with you. So Ronnie, people go, a noddy Ronnie, but no, they're devastating in their own right. They're a great rig, and ultimately you bloody nail fish on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
mine's a D rig. D rig, I love D rig.
Yeah.
And especially using like your wafters and that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hell of a rig. So I always say to people, use a D rig. If you've got no idea what to use, and you see all these videos telling you Ronnie rigs, spinner rigs, try a D rig.
And also working off the back of what you just said there with a D rig as well, especially if you're using fluorocarbon to make your mechanics of the rig, you can change the how big your D is. That's such a weird thing to say that. But you can change the size of the D by pulling obviously more to make your mechanics of the rig. So I do feel, again, any given scenario, a D rig, you can then again adapt your rig to make.
I quite agree with you.
That makes sense.
I quite agree with you. And talking about bait, if you could only use one bait for the rest of your fishing career, what would you go with?
Now, if I could use one bait,
I know
obviously it's going to be Parker
Baits. It's got to be Parker Baits. It has to be.
I would use the OG fish. It's digestible all year round. The oil level's low in it.
Yeah.
It's a bait I can use in the winter, and I know that the fish is fully digested. The fish is going to digest it in the colder months.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it is a devastating bait. It's got good levels of LT94 in it. Again, LT94, I don't think you can put enough LT94 in a bait. It's the best fish meal on the market, if you like. It's the Rolls Royce of the fish meal world, if you like. But in answer to your question, OG fish, devistating product. And
it is. I mean, you know, I use OG fish. I know I've caught so much fish since I've been using it, and I use it all year round.
Yeah.
And I if somebody said to me you can only use one bait without a shadow of a doubt.
No,
would be that. So now, very controversial subject: bait boats. I know the divided opinion. When people see this, they'll go, "Oh no, bait boats are cheating." I use a bait boat, and it's caught me more fish in these last few years. I mean, when they first came out, I said it's cheating.
Yeah,
I think they're a great armour to your kit. I enjoy using it. It's stealthy. What's your opinion?
Now, I can't knock anybody who uses a bait boat. I think they're exactly what you said. They're a great tool in their own right. If you've got a heavy crosswind and you're fishing 30 wraps and you can't hit your spots, but you've got a bait boat there and you're allowed to use them on that venue.
Yeah,
you're right. That's a game changer. I have used them. I do own. I was going to say I don't own a bait boat. I do own a bait boat because my good friend Sammy. Because I know if Sammy ever watches this, she's going to say you do own.
You have got a bait boat.
So I was quite fortunate. I do have a bait boat. I've got a few things to sort out on that boat, but I have got a bait boat. I normally use Kevin Bone, very good friend of mine, and Parker Baits ambassador. He's got a Gowie boat,
right?
And this is like, I know I say it all the time, the Rolls Royce of the boat world, but this is like the Titanic's cousin.
Yeah,
that's the only way of putting it.
So when you see it coming across the lake,
it's massive. It cuts through water like no other. I've had people come around before and go, mate, what boat are you using? That's unbelievable. It's really fast. It's like a speedboat. Because it is. The Gowie is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So no, and ultimately, I have had fish on boats. Would I prefer, again, without being too controversial, would I prefer to cast a rod over using a bait boat if I can? Being that I'm just saying maybe fishing 10 wraps away and I'm not underneath an overhanging tree. Yeah, damn right. I'd rather feel the rod down, feel the lead down, not the rod, feel the lead down, and appreciate the sort of the rod, if you like.
Yeah, no, I get what you, because it is a real controversial subject, and I speak to a lot of people, and they see me using a boat, and it's like, oh, you're using a boat, that's cheating. Well, it's not.
No.
Because I can get to certain spots where you can't cast, under trees, under bushes, close to the bank.
Yeah.
And it's caught me fish.
No, totally. And I think you've also got to think about a boat, because there's other things. There's pros and cons about, if you've got a big hopper, people go, oh, I need to put loads in. But I think you need to think about the given scenario in front of you. I'm going to put less bait in now. And we're going to use the sauce to bring the fish in, but just a little sprinkle and stuff. So, I think you can be clever with a boat.
Definitely. I agree.
As opposed to just going, fill it to the brim, take it out, drop it, because the sonar's saying there's a clear spot there. That I don't really
put the boat out 1,000 yards over 4 people's swims, and that's what I suppose where you get the opinions.
And people, and you're all ultimately going to get, I think whatever you do when it comes to boat, there's always going to be someone out there that's going to go, nah, boats are cheating. I disagree. I don't think they're cheating. I think they're a great tool to use if you need to. If you're fishing up against a branch or so, and you're trying to be really, really, really stealthy, yes. In answer to your question, yes, I think they're a great tool. But I've got nothing against boats. I have used boats. I will use boats going forward, but I would prefer to cast.
Totally agree with you. So, Lucky Charms. Everybody has these Lucky Charms. I've got one on my rod pod called Snowy.
Right.
From when we walked Snowdon. Have you got anything?
Now, there's a couple of things. See, I've normally got my necklace on, my nan's necklace. Well, my nan's sadly not about, but I know she's always watching me and she always supporting me up there, looking in the clouds. But I've got my beanie, my Parker Baits beanie. Now, I'm not just saying this isn't a plug. When I put that beanie on, mate, the magic happens.
Yeah, no,
it's like I was even in the competition, a BCAC video I dropped the other day. I think I was in the video like, the lucky beanies going on. It's got to go on, because I was worrying we were winning by 1 ounce, and I was hoping and praying that, to be honest with you, the people the other side were going to die. If they catch now, it's going to knock us down. So you always had that from but my lucky out.
But you had your beanie on.
Yeah, my beanie on. Unfortunately, this particular session, but in answer to your question again, my Parker Baits beanie is my lucky thing.
No, brilliant.
I don't have any, what do you want to say, like we used to say on the back of the cars, like drift charms. So when you're drifting, you see the little things, but obviously people put them on their rods now, don't they? Like
I'd say, like, I've got this little teddy we got from Snowdon when we walked, and I've kept it. And like you say, I've got my mum and dad's rings from when they passed.
Love that.
So I've got my mum and dad's rings that I wear all the time. So that's another thing.
One.
But
100%.
Bite alarms. There's so many on the market now. What are your favourites?
I've used the same alarms now for 15 years.
Right.
They're limited edition Nash Neville's. So if anybody watches my videos, I'm very particular.
These are the gold ones, and
yeah, I have got a gold set. Yeah. I went a bit OTT, probably thinking gold. Ben, that's a bit strange, but these are actually 24 karat gold. These alarms, I got them bespoke. They're plated, not silver. Plated, and got them done, polished. Custom everything on them, custom underlits, custom rollers, custom everything. Wow. Even the circuit board is there. It says 1 of 1, and I've got one of 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, and that actually says that on the circuit board. It says 24k gold Steve Neville, and actually says that in the circuit board inside. So I've went a bit OTT with that. I don't use them very often. Again, that's another lucky charm for me. I'd sort of bring out, but I use these alarms. Another reason for I'm going to kick myself here, because people are going to watch this and go out and clear the market. But they're a good investment as well. They're going up in value. Any sets that come up, I don't say I haven't got much money. So when I do save, I'll buy another set. I've sat on about 5 sets of them, if I'm honest with you. I just put them away. 3 sets are like 5 sets of 3, brand spanking new, or as good as they can be for they're an old alarm. But to sit on there, my money's better in them alarms as it is sat in my bank.
True.
Fact.
Very, very
true. So if you ever do see any of them Steve Nevilles, in confidence, anybody's watching, they've got any questions, ping me a message, because there is fakes out there. There is different ones as well, different models, but I don't want to bore the people watching. But in answer to your question again, is these Steve Neville alarms, limited edition. They're stainless and they're absolutely beautiful.
Didn't you drop one recently? You dropped it in the water? Or?
Yeah, so when I was at Euro Acca, my gold set,
that's right.
Put them all up on the thing, sat there, me and T, 100 kilometre mile per hour winds, sat there, rods out, 100-pounders out in front of me, sat there, wind goes, whoom.
No.
And I see it pick up the pod, and it was almost like watching it slow-mo. The pod went in the drink.
My God.
And obviously, I'm thinking, oh no, because they're obviously not waterproof.
Yeah.
So I ran down, not jumped in the water, but like, shit. My alarms now are in the water. I can't even see my rods because it's flipped the whole lot in. The whole lot was in the water.
My God.
So I've like got the net and I've like pulled the net through, and then my tips have come up. Cool, brilliant. I've got my rods back. That's a tip. Yeah. And then couldn't find my alarms for the life of me and putting it through. And in the end, I saw a little bit of gold like glinting through the thing.
No.
There they are. Grabbed them, pulled them up. Water was dripping out of them. I looked at T. This was the moment to walk away, crack a beer, sit in the bivvy, sulk for a few hours, and that's exactly what I'd done, to be honest. Because it was either that, it was a laugh or cry moment.
But they're all right now.
To be honest with you, no, they're not all right. I'm not going to lie. They need to be fixed. Reconditioned. They need to be sorted out, and they're actually sat at home at the moment. They need to be sent off and done. But it is what it is. That's fishing, I guess. And sometimes you got to deal with the horrible weather given in front of you, and over there it wasn't just horrible. This was like
the video. It did look pretty rough, didn't it?
I've never witnessed anything like it, mate, in my life.
Yeah, it did look rough out there when you fished it.
Unbelievable. It was crazy winds. The point where T's face and he's getting nearly pulled off the ground. I've never seen T poop himself. He was holding on to this bivvy. He come about 2 foot off the ground. It did. I was like, let go of it, mate. If it goes, it was bad.
It was
bad. Yeah. So
if you could not fish for carp anymore, somebody said, Ben, you're not fishing for carp anymore. What species would you fish for?
I think pike have got pike. Yeah, I do like pike. I think I like the different things you can do to catch pike, whether that be dead baiting, whether that be lure fishing. It keeps it exciting. You can go up the river and run a lure through, or I could sit on a lake and fish like I could carp fishing. Yeah. But knowing that I could catch a good pike, a very good pike. Some of the lakes that I fished, there's some good 20s in there. I've had one 20-pound pike and it blew my mind. The eyes on it were like golf balls. Yeah. Pike. No, mine's tench. I think tench. I had an 8-pound 2 tench a couple of weeks ago, and it was incredible. I had a double tape, 2 tench. One was 6 pound, one was 8.2. That's a monster. Yeah, in anybody's book, that's a monster.
It was blew my mind to see such a big tench and did it scrap.
Really? So, they are good fighters, but an 8 pound, that's a tench on steroids.
8 pound 2 ounce, and then a few hours later I had a 9 pound 14 bream. Which I know we ate bream.
No,
but that's still a big bream. I probably would have got a picture of that myself. And I did, and I even videoed it because everybody was like, "Why are you holding stinky bream?"
Brilliant.
But so boilies. Do you remember the first boilie you used?
Yeah.
What company it was? Who made it?
Yeah. So I think the one that I wouldn't have said it was the first, or sort of the early stages of me fishing. I was very fortunate. I used to fish a lot of the BYCAC as a kid. So back in, this must have been like when I was like 16, 17. Yeah, 2008, 2009, that sort of time. And it was a company called Fishing Wizard.
Wow.
And they made a nut boilie, which I would say to a degree, a lot of our nut sort of, the thought process it was heavily
progressed from there.
A lot of, I've taken bits from it, not going to lie. I mean, that's how you adapt, I guess, as an angler and learn.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I've used different bait companies to almost zap knowledge from over the years to make the best possible thing I could. This the Fishing Wizard, going back to your question, but the Fishing Wizard one was had a lot of CLO in it.
Yeah.
You break the bait, loads of fleck in there.
Yeah.
The visual was good. It also had that crunch factor. CLO being that's got lots of cereal superfoods. Niger seeds, you got that crunch. There was loads of that, and there was also a lot of tiger nut meal. Tiger nut meals in ROG fruit and nut, funnily enough. So yeah, Fishing Wizard, and it was one of their nut boilies.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't think they're even around anymore.
Years ago, I remember Richworth.
Tutti Fruities.
Yeah, I had the old boiled ham flavour. Boiled ham was my first ever boiled ham flavour many moons ago. Yeah. When they first come out, and I was pushing a bit of matchstick inside it to get it to hold on the bloody hair rig. But yeah, that's going back a few years ago and that. So, but you fish many lakes, and you've been so successful in your fishing and that. What have you got left to do with regards to your fishing? What do you sort of look at and think?
My ambition.
I still want to. My ambition. Yeah. Still, I want to achieve this.
Yeah, so 50-pounder. So obviously, I don't. Again, people that may watch the videos, my ambitions are: I need a UK 50.
Yeah,
I need to tick that off. I need to get that out of my system, and I will get that out of my system, and I will catch it on Parker baits. That's a fact. It's just when I'm fishing lakes with them in. It's a ticking time bomb, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, that's the one for me. And obviously,
you've achieved quite a lot.
Thank you.
You've been fishing many years.
Thank you. Yeah,
you've achieved a lot, and it must be up to a point where you think, "What can I do to progress?" Especially the UK. Once you've caught a 50, I think you've.
Yeah. I think there's plenty of 50s to be had in the UK. My other ambition is we will be building our own lake. I would like to have my own lake. I will have my own lake.
Yeah.
That's already in the pipeline. And myself, and I say me, my family, my brother. It's not just me. It's a family-run business. To have our own lake, and I'd like to. Have 50-pounders in that one day, whether that be now or in 15 years' time. Mark my words, that will happen, and I'll do everything in my power to make that happen. But also, as a business, my ambitions is if you type in a day ticket water in YouTube, in the next 10 years, Parker Baits will be the first video that come up. Now, that's something for me. So anybody that fishes a day, and this isn't going to take me 5 minutes, but like you said, I've fished a lot of lakes. I have, but there's also a lot of mysteries out there. There's also a lot of day tickets that I haven't fished, and I've only just scratching the surface in my eyes with that. So yeah, my ambitions are in the long run is to have our own lake, and obviously if you type in YouTube a day ticket water, there is content of Parker baits within that video. Or the first one that comes up would be lovely.
And obviously if you're fishing in Europe, you want the 100-pounder still.
Yes, we spoke about this before we started. We had a little bit of a chat. My ambitions is to catch a 100-pounder on Parker baits. Would just blow my mind. And again, mark my words, you can hold me to this, that will happen. That will happen.
So with the bait business being so successful now, how can you progress with any more? Because surely you're just taking the market by storm at the moment.
Right. Okay.
You're doing so well.
Thank you. No, really.
No, genuinely. I mean, there's so many people. Everybody's using Parker baits now. It's just how do you think it's going to get bigger? Can you see it getting bigger?
We're not going to stop till we're on top. Coming back from someone who's very passionate about what we do as a family. But my end goal is obviously to bring our production up. Yeah. So me and my brother and the family are saving for a new machine at the moment, which is going to be handmade in Germany. Wow. So what I can do in a week, I can manufacture in a day.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I've got a machine that's very good, and it obviously makes a lot of bait. But what if I can bring my production times and make them lower and make more bait? Yeah. Yes, granted, I still need to pack that bait. But that's my ambitions in regards to that. And then obviously go over to Europe. Yeah. Now I can probably 10, 20x what I'm doing in Europe.
Do you get any European sales at the moment?
We're not. We've said no to it.
Right.
We don't want to run before we can walk. We're in the process of ticking these boxes off. There's various licenses you need to have to do that. We will get these licenses.
Yeah.
And that is something we will do. But it's a time thing. You don't build a bridge in a day.
No, exactly.
But I mean, like I said, what we do in England and what the Europeans do almost make England look like it's come out of a cracker.
Yeah.
In comparison to the volume that bait is going out there, and the companies that are sending bait out there, it would blow your mind if you knew the numbers that is going out there. It would completely blow your mind. Well, it blew mine when I found out numbers, and that's my ambition. So taking things to the next level, bringing up our production, also having our Parker baits late, but obviously hitting Europe. And the very end goal for me is obviously when we built our other factory. So I didn't say we're going to build another factory. So this is already in the pipeline. I want to build a factory 10 times the size of what we got now. I'm going to do guided talks around the factory with white gowns on, so people will be able to walk around. For people that are interested and understand a bit more about the bait, why, the thought process behind it, nutritional value. Not just Ben's talking about it in a video. No, there's no wool over your eyes. Come to Parker Baits HQ and I'll show you, and you can get involved and you can make the bait yourself, and eventually one day make the bait yourself and then go fish our own lake with the bait you've made that day.
And I must just say, because I got here earlier and Ben showed me around, and there's no hidden secrets, there's nothing. You're very open about. And I was chatting to Theo, he's telling me all how it works. So honestly, fair play to you, Ben.
Thank you.
And thank you for doing this today, taking the time out for going on the next episode of the Ginger Carpman. So,
like I say, pleasure.
And that's it. You've done it. So you've got to the end of the question. So
there you go.
Thank you so much for your time today.
No, thank you.
I better let you get back to work now.
Well, just before I go, I've got something for you. So if I come back in shot, so what I've gone for you here, mate, I've got you a little present because I want to thank for obviously being on your channel. So me and my family wanted to give you some 14mm shelf life there in fruit and nut. We've got some more OG fish there, shelf life, 14mm. One of our signature products. This is our flat spot, but you've got a monster crab and you've got a fruity. We want to give you these. Finish it off with some Parker Bait stickers and then our OG fruit and nut wafters. So thanks very much, mate. And I'll shake your hand. Ben, thank you.
Thank you so much for today. I really appreciate what you've done, and for them as well. So
no problem. And hopefully that's given people a little bit more of an insight of maybe really Parker Baits in the background behind it.
And please, if you don't use them, get onto Parker Baits, because as I say, I don't just say it. I'm not sponsored, Ben. I'm not sponsored or nothing.
Not even an ambassador. Anything.
I'm nothing. I just genuinely have used OG fish now, and it's blown my mind. So
thanks. And like you said, if you ever want to support us, we upload every Sunday at the Parker Baits YouTube channel, and we also started uploading on a Wednesday 7:30 as well. So if you haven't already, please support a small family-run business, support the Parker Baits wave, and help us progress the business and take things to new levels. So thanks very much for watching.
Thanks very much, Ben.
Thank you, mate. Pleasure.
Well, I really hope you enjoyed this special edition of On the Bank With. And again, a huge thank you to Ben from Parker Baits for doing what he did. Not only just doing the interview, he didn't have to do that. You know, he's got enough going on without just meeting up with somebody like me to do an interview for my YouTube channel. But as I say, he started work at 6 in the morning and I turned up, I think it was about 4 in the afternoon. And he stopped everything straight away, introduced me to his family. He showed me round, showed me how all the baits are made, how the packaging's all done. He took me round to the lake, showed me the lake that he's got there on site. And you know, just thank you so much to him for the hospitality and to his family. With regard to some new uploads, in August there's going to be 3 or 4 new uploads. So I'm fishing a social with Ben at B1, and that is the 11th, the weekend of the 11th. The end of August I'm doing a 36-hour session fishing with Nathan Stamp at his Windsor Syndicate, and I think I'm just going to start fishing a new lake in Poole called Hatch Pond, and just see how I get on there, because I just want to try something a little bit different, and it's a little bit obviously something different for you guys to watch. Most of all, if you can please subscribe. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, you know, there's a lot of stuff coming up. I'm also doing a On the Bank With in August with Carp King, so I'm going to be interviewing Carp King. So please subscribe and you know, get my subscriptions up, because I just really want to try and increase my subscribers. So I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. But for now, I'll speak to you soon. Take care, and as I said, I really hope you enjoyed this special edition. And again, thank you to Ben and his family.